I'm Rob, it's my wife Sara, and this is baby A, Derek, and then we have baby B, Ryder, and baby C, Summer Grace.
Every good and perfect gift is from above, James 1:17. There's no doubt in our minds this is true because after many years of praying, we were blessed beyond belief with 3 tiny babies, 6 loving hands, 6 small feet, 30 tiny toes, and 30 little fingers to love and to hold. I could tell that there were 2, so we asked the doctor, we said, how come it looks like they're sharing and sometimes they're on their own? And he said, well, actually, that's because we have 3 babies here. So I immediately looked at Rob and I said, Rob, don't pass out.
So I had to compose myself a little bit, but I was thrilled, just overjoyed. On September 29, 2016, at 24 weeks and 6 days of pregnancy, we were unexpectedly admitted to the hospital for cholestasis of pregnancy.
For 34 days, we prayed that I could carry the little ones for just one more day and then one more week because the doctors and nurses stressed to us the benefits of each additional day.
I think just the unknown was probably the toughest part because sure, we've been around plenty of people that have had full-term babies and it seems pretty uneventful for the most part, but this is going to be uncharted territory.
Every day counted in the womb, it eliminated a few days in the NICU. They tried to prepare us, but there's no way that anybody can ever prepare you for what we came across and encountered.
We're a 17-bed neonatal intensive care unit, and we usually have between 1 to 3 sets of triplets that we may have a year. It does require a certain amount of just preparation, simply because it's not just one delivery that you're preparing for. You're trying to prepare for multiple premature deliveries at one time.
We took a couple classes at Mary Washington to try to help prepare us. One of them was parents expecting multiples.
They had gotten to take a tour and I had met them maybe a month or so before they actually ended up delivering. It was one of the more poignant experiences certainly of the last year, and I think we all remember them very well.
It was a whirlwind in the OR, and the thing that I was looking for, or maybe listening for the most, was the cries. And sure enough, each one of them as they came out were able to cry, and I did as well. I lost it. It was the sweetest sound I'd ever heard.
When you become a NICU parent, you earn membership in a club you wish no one were qualified to join. But once you're a member, there's no better support network that exists.
We knew that they were going to need a fair amount of support, both from a breathing standpoint, but also just from a nutritional standpoint. Each of the babies had their own full-on NICU team that they were ready.
If it weren't for the nurses and doctors, there's no way we would have gotten through it. They sheltered us when we needed to be sheltered, and they told us every little bit of information we needed, a little piece at a time. They always knew how much we could handle.
The parents were just so calm and, amazing. I always say that, God only gives certain people triplets because he knows who can handle them or not.
There were some different things that they came up against, and you'd meet with the doctors every day, and you would go in and pray that it was good news for that day. And then as just time progressed, they seemed to hit those milestones, and of course, not at the same time, and that, in a way, was frustrating. But at the same time, it wasn't fair to be comparing each of the 3 of them, but the nurses and doctors were so great about reassuring us that everything was going to be okay, and that each baby goes at his own pace, and it continued to progress.
Summer Grace came home on day 63. 2 days later, on day 65, we got to bring Ryder home. And then on day 93, we finally got to bring Derek home and be together as a family. And that first night was amazing.
It's always very exciting because that's our goal, to get the babies home. But at the same time, it's sad when you see, a wonderful family leave. It's like, oh no,
It is a little bittersweet just because you become bonded to these families. But at the same time, we all know that the babies are going to grow and develop and do better when they're at home with their families. And so we're always excited for that.
We certainly don't want to forget changing diapers the size of a travel pack of tissues you tuck in your purse. We definitely don't want to forget the nurses telling us not to look at the monitors when they alarm, but instead to look at our baby's color and responsiveness, because the problem typically self-resolves. We learn the situation often turns out to be okay because God is in control, because a nurse or doctor trusted their gut, and because we were one of the lucky ones.
If you were to look at them now, you probably wouldn't even know that they were 10 weeks premature. They're just wonderful kids, and they each are unique in their own way. They have their own personalities, and they're the light of my world.
When the going got tough, they were always there and they had our back. They were taking care of us just as much as the children.
The NICU at Mary Washington Hospital is phenomenal, from every detail, from the bottom all the way to the top.
In our minds, there's no finer hospital than Mary Washington Hospital.
And no finer doctors than Children's National Neonatologists.